Arthur keeps coming to me about that one. Arthur keeps coming to me about that one. Arthur keeps Hey, everybody, I think we got a quorum, so we'll move forward. Before we get started, we want to introduce a couple of people. We've got a new person here at the MPO. Chris Henson is the new GIS planner here. He started about 2 weeks.
This is third week.
Third week, okay, close. So we're glad to have him with us. He's got a lot of experience, and he's, according to Dwayne, he's doing really well. So we're excited to have him on board. And also, if you'll notice in the back, Lamar, raise your hand.
Oh,
He's got everything on YouTube, so be sure what you say is gonna be live, so.
yeah, well, I'm gonna hand it over to Carl and we'll try to, get him on it, let you guys, do what you need to do.
And give you a little background on why we do YouTube. We started doing that during the COVID, and Aldott and the Federal Highway Administration down in Montgomery, they kind of like that because it's kind of public can watch it too. So that's why we do that.
What keeps Aldott happy for you?
Yeah, fans happy, we're even better.
So if everybody's ready, we'll go ahead and get started. Item number 2 is approve the minutes for the November 5th, 2021 MPO policy board meeting. And we do have updated minutes, if anybody would like to see them.
We have an updated minutes. I actually had Morgan County in a section, and it was actually the city of Decatur. So I have the updated copy here that Chairman can sign, but it just was in one paragraph. I had Morgan County instead of city of Decatur.
Unless y'all want them to pay for it, since they're not here to defend themselves. I
There's a first time for everything.
better not say that since we are live. I will be able to.
I'll say it loud.
Motion to approve the. We have a motion, have a second. We have a motion, we have a second, any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Moving on down to item number 3 is adopt resolution 2201. This was tabled from the last meeting, adopting the Alabama Performance Management Agreement.
Okay, and after we tabled this resolution, Aldott give us permission to approve it after FHWA took another look at it. But basically, it's the performance management agreement. In the last transportation bill, and even before that, in the previous transportation bill, there was a section that basically said states and MPOs had to do performance measures. Basic performance measures, as you'll see later on in the meeting, they basically give the feds input back on what the states and MPOs are doing to actually solve problems. The PM1s have things to do with safety, on how we're doing with safety. So MPO, about after these came out, they approved the state's performance measures or performance management program. So the PM1, PM2, and PM3, whatever the state approves, the MPO approves along with that. This document just lays that out, basically saying that we're following what they, the guidance that they give us, and it lists that in the document. And the measures are at different times. Later on, we have 2 items on the agenda, transit and the PM1s that's up for approval for this year.
You heard Dwayne's explanation. We have motion to adopt resolution 2201.
So moved.
Second.
So we have first, motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Moving on. Item number 4. Going too fast for you?
No, I'm good.
Adopt resolution 2208 to amend the FY 2020-2023 Transportation Improvement Program, also known as TIP, to increase the cost on the following project: resurfacing on State Road 3 or US Highway or US 31 from Thomas L. Hammonds Road to State Road 304.
Yes, Chairman, this is a state project on the resurfacing program. I think Curtis or Alan, either one of y'all can kind of explain a little more in detail if you want to.
Well, it's just an increase in cost after we formulate our plans and actually get our true items. This is what the project came in at, so we need to update on the plan.
I think his project's scheduled for sometime this fiscal year. So hopefully sometime in the summer, it'll be underway construction.
We have a motion to adopt resolution 2208.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Resolution 2208 carries. Moving on down to item number 5, adopt resolution 2209 to amend the FY 2020-2023 Transportation Improvement Program to increase the cost on the following project. And this is resurfacing on State Road 36 from Newcut Road to State Road 3 US 31.
This is the same type of project. This is a federal researching project. ALDOT's, it's one of their projects they're paying to match and also should be underway sometime this fiscal year or this.
Have a motion to adopt resolution 2209.
So moved.
A motion and second, any discussion? All in favor of adopting resolution 2209?
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm sorry, you stated that. All right, resolution 2209 is approved. Item number 6, adopt resolution 2210 to amend the FY 2020-2023 Transportation Improvement Program to add the following projects. Sidewalks along State Road 3 US 31 6th Avenue from Moulton Street to Wilson Street in Decatur.
This project actually is correct on the agenda. The resolution I had to update, actually the next project was the description in that project, but if you look, the new resolution has the same description that's on the agenda. It's the same amount of money. It's $640,000 federal cost with $160,000 coming from the city of Decatur. And this is a TAP grant.
Dwayne, how long is that, how long do we have to use that money?
I want to say maybe is it 2 years, Curtis? If
I'm not absolutely.
I'm not
Is that to
absolutely
let to bid it?
I think, I'm not 100% sure about that, but 2 years is ringing a bell.
I thought it
James?
was 2 years. We had.
James or Alan, do you know? I think
I think you've actually got to have it under construction in 2
I think you do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is actually already in the system in the CPMS, so now it's just waiting to be authorized. Once it's authorized, work can start on the project.
We didn't build them yet, did we? Do we have a motion to adopt resolution 2210?
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor of adopting resolution 2210? Any opposed? And there is none, motion carries. Resolution carries. Item number 7, adopt resolution 2211 to amend the FY 2020-2023 Transportation Improvement Program to increase funding for right-of-way on the following project, replacing roadway culvert and approaches on West Morgan Road over Baker's Creek.
This project is an MPO project that the Morgan County Commission is doing. We actually increased the cost of the right of way at the last MPO meeting we had back in November. About 2 days after we did that, I got another increase after that. So that's what this resolution is today. So it actually went up $12,539.60. Of that cost increase, the MPO would pay $10,031.68, with the county paying $2,507.92.
So move.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Resolution 2211 carries. Moving on to item number 8, adopt resolution 2212 to amend the FY 2020-2023 Transportation Improvement Program to increase funding for construction on the following project. Resurfacing on County Road 684 or Church Street from Somerville Road to Riverview.
So moved.
Let me explain first before we do it. This is actually was put in the system incorrectly. And the utilities was actually put under the construction budget. So what we had to do was I contacted James in Montgomery. James took and put the money back, took the money out of construction, and Alan created a utility budget because it has to be, because there's a pipe underneath the road that has to be replaced. That utility budget, which I have the new resolution here, is a total cost of $323,441.78. Of that, the city of Decatur would be responsible for $64,688.36. So basically, it was put in the construction budget. It had to be taken back out. We had to create a utility scope, and that's what we're doing with this resolution. So, but the money is, I made sure the money was taken out of construction because we don't want to leave it in both places because I don't think Decatur wants to pay it twice, but it's out because I've got the documentation here. It was taken out, so it's put in the utility budget.
We have a motion to adopt resolution 2212.
Second.
I'm sorry, we had one motion.
Oh, yeah.
I have a motion.
Count
and a
Davis,
second.
Mark. Yes, I moved. Second was this fiscal year.
This should be, yes. And there's a pipe that cannot be disturbed. It's a large water pipe underneath that roadway. So really it's best to go ahead and replace it now as opposed to if the road at a later date getting on top of that line, then you have to tear the road up and replace it. So it's better to do it now.
Any more discussion? All in favor of approving resolution 2212? Any opposed? Resolution 2212 carries. Moving on, item number 9. Adopt resolution 2213 to amend the FY 2020-2023 Transportation Improvement Program to add the following project. Section 5311, Transit Cares Act, North Central Alabama Regional Council of Governments, and support equipment for FY 2022.
This time I've done these transit projects a little different. I put them in resolutions based on what type of funding that they have or are. This one is 5311, which is rural transit funding. There's only one project that's included. It's $9,800. This is some of the CARES Act funding, which it requires no match from the agency, so it's $9,800. And actually, it's, as I said, it's rural, 5311, which is rural, but it still comes into our study area. So that's part of their budget for this fiscal year.
Motion to adopt resolution 2213.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of approving this resolution? Any opposed? Resolution 2213 carries. Moving forward, adopt resolution 2214 to amend the FY 2020-2023 Transportation Improvement Program to add the following projects. Section 5307, Transit Projects, North Central Regional Council of Governments for year 2022.
5307 is an urban area funding for the transit system. All these projects, as you see, some of them have matching funds from NARCOG, some of them don't. But it's different types of programs under the 5307 program. Some of them may have a 10% match, some of them may have a no match, and some of them may have a 20% match. But all these projects for this fiscal year actually total up to $1,269,825 to run the transit program in the urban area for this fiscal year.
Heard Dwayne's description. Do we have a motion to adopt resolution 2214?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Adoption. Resolution 2214 is adopted. Moving down to item number 11. Adopt resolution 2215 to amend the FY 2020-2023 Transportation Improvement Program to add the following project. Section 5339, Transit of North Central Regional Council of Governments, rolling stock for FY 2022.
This is basically, like was said, the 5339 program. This is actually for them to buy buses and support equipment for them buses. It's in a total amount of $133,144.
Heard the description. Motion to adopt resolution 2215.
Motion. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Resolution 2215 carries. Item number 12. Adopt resolution 2216 approving the FY 2022 Highway Safety Improvement Program targets.
This one actually has an updated resolution. I had, instead of 2022, February 23rd, 2022, at February 23rd, 2019. But this is basically the PM1 marks that are performance marks from that ALDOT has done for this fiscal year. It has to deal with safety on the performance measures. And as I explained earlier, ALDOT has a lot of consultants on board looking at these numbers and looking at performance measures. A lot of things in the transportation bill is the past one that we're still under is, you gotta meet performance measures in order to receive federal funding. I think, not to get off topic here, but I think the new transportation bill that was passed back last year, we're gonna see a lot more performance measures, more climate change, more things like that. So you're probably gonna see some more of that coming down. I know you are, because we gotta put some in the UPWP this year. We have new language, and it's dealing with a lot of stuff dealing with EVs, a lot of stuff dealing with climate change and stuff like that. So basically, these are the marks, and these are usually safety marks. And they try to hit them marks or below them marks to show that they're making progress with the money that the feds get for roadways and safety money in different areas.
You heard Dwayne's explanation. We have a motion to adopt resolution 2216.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 2216 carries. Moving on to item 13, adopt resolution 2217 approving the FY 2022 FTA Transit Safety Performance Targets Measure.
These are the transit safety measures, and we just approved these back, I think, in our July meeting of last year. These numbers have not changed, but we have to do it each year. It's a yearly program to where this and the PM1s have to be updated every year. PM2s, I think, is on the 2-year schedule, but these are the same numbers that come out of the statewide transit plan. For all the transit agencies in the state, the consultant did a plan and they come up with these numbers. So we didn't come up with these numbers. They've just been passed down to us.
Heard Dwayne's explanation. Do we have a motion to adopt resolution 2217?
Second.
So we have a motion and a second.
And let me go back just for a minute on these performance measures, because I know it kind of gets clouds nine at times too, but all of these performance measures y'all pass has to be put in our documents. The TIP, the UPWP, and all of it's federal requirements. So we have to do all this stuff to be eligible for federal funding. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell why we're having to do this stuff, because we do have to, as this body, y'all have to approve them, and we have to put them in all of our documents to be eligible for funding. So a lot of that stuff that comes through here is basically you gotta be eligible for funding.
That's important.
It is.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion, resolution 2217 carries. We have any new business you would like to discuss? Okay. Mr. Vincent, would you or Mr. Teague like to give us an ALDOT update?
Well, as far as state projects, we got the bridge on 31. We've got about 30-40% design, and we're hoping to have it let maybe next year, 2023. And then, of course, the project I just mentioned, resurfacing 36 from New Cut Road to 31. That'll be this fiscal year. As every year, we try to get our plans developed early in the winter so that we can let these resurfacing projects early in the spring and no later than the summer, so we can try to finish them within that year. Sometimes we get them all, sometimes we don't, but that's what we attempt to do. So you'll start seeing a resurfacing program kick in around North Alabama here in about 2 more months. Alan, you want to give an update on the, excuse me?
I said if we can find asphalt.
Oh, yeah, you can find it, it's gonna be.
There's quite a few MPO projects. One of the first ones is the intersection of Palm Ridge Road, US 31. This one is one that the funding agreement's just going through Montgomery to fund right away. Plans are at 90%, and we should be starting to get right-of-way authorization, hopefully within a month. This project is scheduled for early in fiscal year 2023. Then we have one of the projects that was mentioned earlier. It's place culverts and approaches over on West Morgan Road over Baker's Creek. Mr. Bodley was in here in our last meeting. He said hopefully they would be ready by the proposed date of September of this year to let in. Then we've got Church Street, which was mentioned earlier, and here again, it's going to depend on how quickly we can get the utility documents through as to when it would let. It's currently scheduled for May of 2022, and we're hoping that we can meet that date. Down in Hartsville, we've got a project that PE is just going to start on. It's State Road 36 and Lando Road. It also is scheduled in 2023 for letting. And the last three MPO projects are all resurfacing projects in the city of Priceville. One's on Cave Springs Road, one's on Skidmore Road, and one's on Bethel Roads. All three of those should be coming around to be let in mid-2023. As far as the A-Trip 2 projects we have, the first one is the project we had on the belt line to offset the left-hand turns and make safety improvements there. The project was let last September, but as with everything, the contractor's waiting on fabrication of the slotted drains. That sort of slowed him up. Our construction engineer told me yesterday that hopefully with weather permitting, they should start in about a month on that project. And the last A-Trip 2 projects, access management improvements on US 31 in the city of Hartsville. That project's being designed now, and we'll move on to letting either later this fiscal year or first part of 2020. That's about it. Be glad to entertain any questions.
We're running into a lot of item issues on our construction projects, just the holes, and like I said, the slotted drain. I talked to two pipe suppliers this morning, and they're saying that they're doing everything they can to supply pipe. Pipes are coming short. So it's going to be a challenge this year. It really is, to get everything let under contract, but hopefully we can make it through it. And of course, prices are going up. Everything we've seen, prices are. If you're bidding a project today, and you're bidding it for a year from now, what's inflation going to be a year from now?
Anybody else out there like sharing? Anything else you need to share, Dwayne?
No, I think we'll probably come back sometime the 1st of June. We have some of the documents that need to be approved. Probably some more project changes.
Like I mentioned earlier, we're glad to have Chris with us. We did interviews in December. He made the cut, so
Doing a good job.
we appreciate what
He's got to be better than Lee.
Yeah, a lot of
Well, that's what I told Dwayne.
Remember,
I feel like,
said that, right?
but I didn't say that. Dwayne said that. He had some very interesting stories he shared with us. He's done a lot of interesting work, not pipeline, but oil rig. Very interesting stuff.
Y'all got any positions in 2 or 3 years? I'm training you.
I was about to say, we might need him a couple years.
Well, unless anybody else says anything, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Anybody opposed? I didn't even go with the other one, so thank you very much.